I'm at the EngageEU conference in Antwerp, Belgium, talking with my good friend Vince Menanno, and here is the recording that we made. I saw something really amazing, and I want to talk to my friend Vince Menanno, who I really only ever call Enzo. Hello, sir.
My mom called me Enzo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great, actually one syllable way of calling me. Enz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it always makes me think of Enzo Ferrari, so there's
Yeah, cool.
So I saw your preview session of a new thing. Let's hear it. 8 to the max.
8 Inspector version 8. Yes, and it's we bit the bullet. We switched from DDR to using XML. Save as XML, and there's a lot of new features in Save as XML. And we're here in Antwerp at the EngageU conference to show off a preview of what's coming. And the beta is coming later this year, and we hope to release early next year.
I'm going to tell you what totally excited me about it, and then you can correct me and add to it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So, you describe like a team of people working on the same solution. They could be in different places. When a given person works on a particular thing, and they want to commit their change, if you will, basically say, okay, I'm done with this part. They click a button, they write a one-sentence description of what they did, and they click submit. That sends a message basically to the Inspector Hub, wherever it lives, I guess which I want to know about.
Yeah.
And then an analysis can run. So if all the people are sort of working on their areas, it could be the graph, it could be scripting, it could be any area really. Adding and changing fields, adding and changing tables. The analysis will show a complete log of who did what when, and it will track the exact specific changes they made to the schema, to scripts or whatever, as well as who did it and what they're actually doing.
Yes, almost.
Almost. Good. Good.
So let me explain. First off, is because we're using Save as XML, it can run on the server. It can be scripted.
Right.
So what we didn't have before was the DDR can't run on the server, so you have to generate it somewhere and then send it. So if right now our architecture is both Inspector Pro and the solution live on the server, although you can run Inspector Pro locally and generate XML, the XML from a file that's open locally. So you can run it locally or on the server. But in that situation, you have an open file, you multi-user collaboration development, and let's say you've saved some scripts already, but you didn't run an analysis, and I just made some layout changes and I run an analysis because it's the complete XML representation of the file. When I run it, I'm going to carry along your changes with me, right? So even though you haven't submitted, the changes that you made are attributed to you in the script. The changes I made are attributed to me on the layout. And thus, there's attribution, although take it with a grain of salt because it's only if you generate it do you get the attribution at that time.
That makes sense. But the attribution, the other thing that super excited me about what you showed is that with the new feature, it only really grabs the specific changes. So what happens is when you click the button to commit to redo the analysis, it on the server exports the file and then uses the plugin to incredibly quickly analyze it and store only the changes. And so you can run 100 analyses per day with almost no overhead. Yes.
Yeah, actually,
I got that one right.
Yeah, that one you got right. So a little bit slightly different though, even that one. So Save as XML now has some additional structure to it. It has these catalogs. So script catalog, layout catalog, valueless catalog. And so what the catalogs have is they have these 4 attributes: modifications, username, account name, and timestamp. We use the modification count to scan the catalogs and say, oh, look, these 10 catalogs, looks like you only changed the layout catalog. Okay, let's go scan the layouts. Okay, look, this layout is the only layout that changed. We scan the layout. We process on-demand XSLs for that specific layout. We got all the items on the layout. Then we scan the layout objects that were on that layout for changes to those. And then we just get only the ones that are new, added, or deleted. And so With Inspector 7, every analysis was gobble up everything.
Yeah.
And so after 100 analyses, you've got 5 million records. It takes you maybe 18 hours or 10
Right,
hours
yeah.
to gobble up 100 analyses. You would never do that you could do it in a day if you wanted to do them one after another, but normally people do them once a day or once a week or whatever. In 8,
Even once every 2 weeks back then. Well, I used to do it.
Yeah. In 8, you would be able to do 100 analyses in an hour, or you could do them across the whole day. So
Right.
the new version has a whole different architecture to support that, and then it's this encouragement of getting the team to document everything they do, or you can also run a script schedule to run it every 5 minutes, and the team doesn't even have to worry about it. So it's really cool.
This seems like the most useful thing to a project manager who works with a team of developers than I think I maybe have ever seen.
Yeah, it's exciting. Our team, Brendan and I, are working very, very quickly as we can to get it done, because he wants to use it as soon as possible, and our team can get access to it too. So it's really, really cool. There's a lot of features that we haven't talked about that we have planned. Like I'll mention one other feature. So for example, we had in version 7, we had the ability to attach notes to anything, right? So let's say you have a privilege set and you want to add a note. In FileMaker, there's no place to put a note for a privilege set. A note for a value list, let's say.
Right.
Okay.
Or so many things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A table, a tog. Well, you can put them on the tog, but
Yeah, you could put table occurrence notes.
God, I would love to have notes for a table.
Yeah, you can put notes on a table. Not only that, but your team could add multiple notes. You can know who put the note in, when they put it in, etc. Right? So you can have a whole collection of notes. And now, because you can do so many analyses, you might want to do a session where you're recording analyses for a sprint. Let's say it's a 1 month, 2 month sprint. You fix a bunch of things, and you have all these notes. You don't want to lose the notes. So when you reset it, there's an option to keep the notes. And because the notes are tied by UUID, when you bring the data back in, notes relink themselves back to the...
Because all the objects have invisible UUIDs, right?
Everything has a UUID. Yep.
That's the way it should work. What else is new and exciting at Beeswax?
Oh, I was here at the conference, and there was someone who's working for, I forget what it was, Antwerp Parks or something. And he said to me he had to convince IT for something. And he said, I went to your blog, and I found this article, and I gave it to the IT team. And I don't remember the exact topic, but he says, thank you so much. It really helped the IT team understand how to do this one thing. There's a lot going on at Beeswax.
That's exciting. Anybody else from Beeswax team here?
Alec was here. Alec Gregory from Beeswax was here. He lives in the UK now. And he joined me here for a few days. He just left today. But it's been great.
Yeah, there's just a handful of people from the U.S. here. But yeah, and actually, I can't believe